Hello, hello, ladies.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Hello.
I'm excited to be here. Gloria, I want to say thank you for having
Oh, you're
me.
so
It's
welcome.
such an honor to be on the platform with such
Yes.
amazing women doing so many
Yes,
amazing things. So I say thank you guys for having me.
you are so welcome. You're so welcome, Tess. And we are excited to hear what you are sharing with us tonight. So, as we exit the stage, Queen of Increase, the stage is all yours.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, first of all, ladies, I wanted to say we can have anything we want in this world, no matter what it is. You are the architect of your own life, whether you work on a job, whether you're self-employed, you're a stay-at-home mom, but you are the architect of your own life. And I'm going to be sharing with you about some of the things it takes to manifest what you want, but you got to first stop doing certain things. Before I go on a little further about this, I want to share a little bit about me. I am a entrepreneur. I'm a business coach, a trainer, have 35 years of experience in hair. And I've been coaching from my chair for over 25 years. And that brought me to writing several books and learning what it takes for people to collaborate together. And what I found out is that so many of us have so many things in common, and that starts with chaos. It doesn't matter about your economical background, whether you're middle class, whether you're the wealthy or the rich. We all have the same thing in common. And I wrote a book called The Three C's, and it's all about chaos, clarity, and commitment. But I'm not going to share about that today. I'm just going to share you that was part of my journey. But I want to talk to you guys about is how to manifest what you want. It's so important, guys, to be crystal clear on what you want. In order for you to achieve that, you must have clarity. How many people can agree with me on that? You must have clarity. If you're uncertain about what you want for your life, there is no way you can manifest what you want for your life. So the first thing is identifying what is your true purpose for being here on this earth. Who are you here to serve? Why are you here to serve? What can you do to help someone else? You guys mentioned that I'm a part of the Kim Coleman Foundation. Yes, I am one of the directors of 65 directors, and we give back to underprivileged kids through bicycles. I had to get clear, guys, on what my mission was. What is my purpose? I thought it was all about the hair. Well, the hair was a vehicle to get me in front of you guys. So I'm saying to you, if you're uncertain about what is it that you really want for your life, let's sit down and do some soul searching. During the pandemic, guys, it caused us to dig real deep. We had no choice but to stay still and start thinking about what's most important in our life. I know some of you guys that are listening can relate to that. So, getting clarity in what you want is key, guys. It is so key in order for you to manifest. So, once you decide, okay, let me write down at least three things that move and inspire me. So, take a pen and paper and write it down. Write down three things that move and inspire you, that make you have that little fuzzy feeling in your stomach, that you get excited about doing it. This helps you to define your clarity. Are you writing it down? Three things. Some of you guys might like to sew for a living. That moves and inspires you. Might like to do flower arrangements, or you might like to mentor other people. whatever that is, guys, that you can do in your sleep, no matter what, that is helping you to get clarity on what it is that you really want, what it is your purpose. Why are you here? God give us all a gift. And we have to decide on, okay, now that we know what that is, then what are we going to do with that gift? What are we going to do with that talent? How many people out there that you can serve with your gift and your talent? So I'm going to ask you that. How many people in this world that you can serve, that you can help, that can benefit from your gifts and your talent? That is so awesome, God, when you can do that. When you can decide on that, hey, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. That is truly the beginning of manifesting what you want. Because you get a chance to help other people get what they want while you're getting what you want. That's the joy, the peace, and excitement of your purpose. That's number one. Number two, now that you have clarity, you wrote down 3 or 5 things that move and inspire you. Let's talk about whether you have faith, whether you have fear. What is it? These are the 2 things that'll stop us in our tracks. Is fear, is doubt, the unwillingness to make a change. I'm giving you a list of things. Fear, doubt, unwillingness to make a change. The next one would be, I'm not good enough. So do you have that? Fear, doubt, unwillingness to make a change. These things will stop us from manifesting what we want. So we got clarity now, guys, on what we really want. Now let's just focus on believing that we can do it. Believing that we deserve this. Believing that it's already done. See, you got to pick a lane, guys. Either you're going to have fear or you're going to have faith. Which one do you choose? Fear or faith? Now, you can't have both. You got to pick a lane, guys. You got to pick a lane, and you got to not be attached to the outcome. But you say you ask God for all these things that you say you want in your life, then you second guess what the answer that God gives you. Oh, but God, I didn't want that. I know I asked for that, but that's not how I wanted it. But I'm not ready yet. But you already asked for it. So you have to pick a lane, guys. Either you're going to have faith or you're going to have fear. You can't have both. And so let me talk about the fear, guys. Fear, oh my gosh. Fear is something that's imaginary. That's a story you made up. It's not real. But when you have faith over here, oh my goodness, the faith is where you know that you know that you know that it's already done. When you know that you know that you know it's already done. So think about that, guys. Think about what you can do to get clarity on what it takes to manifest what you want. So think about that. Number 3, one of the highest form of manifestation, guys, is gratitude. Guys, when you are grateful for small things, oh my goodness, then that's when God bless you with more. See, because you're grateful for the small thing. You might be grateful just waking up in the morning. See, because a lot of people didn't get a chance to wake up. So you able to wake up today with a stable mind. If you have great family, think about what that would do for you and for someone else to be happy, to have joy, to have peace, to have good health. So I advise you guys to get your journal, get your journal, and you can label it gratitude journal. Make sure you have something very cute and pretty that you don't mind writing in. And I like for you to write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. 3 to 5 things. And do this every day. Now you have to decide on whether you're going to do it 3 days a week or you're going to do it 7 days a week or 5 days a week. But make sure when you write in your journal, guys, that you do it the same time every day. And guys, when you start to write in this journal, watch how the magic is starting to happen because you don't understand how this really works. This is a part of you manifesting exactly what you want because you already have the clarity. Number 2, you've already decided on which lane you're going to choose. And 3, the gratitude. The gratitude, being grateful for the obstacles that come your way. We all have gone through something these last couple of years. I mean, think about it. We all had to stay home. We didn't know what we were going to do next. We had some people that were stressed out, in fear. But you had to learn how to pivot during the pandemic. And during the pandemic, it made a whole lot of people a better person. Yeah, I'm not saying that everything was good. Some people have lost their loved ones during the pandemic. But guys, remember, you're the architect of your own life. You get a chance to manifest whatever you want, no matter what it is. Stop thinking about the things that you don't want in your life and focus on what you do want in your life. Whether you want to build a new home, start thinking about what that house looks like. What size is it? Is it a 3,000 square foot home? What color is it? Is it stuccoed? Is it brick? Does it have siding? What size are your rooms? What size is your kitchen? What color is your cabinet? Start thinking about the things that you want to manifest. It might be to start your own business. We as women, oh my gosh, we're killing it out here, guys. We are killing it. Because women, when you got a woman on your team, you got somebody powerful on your team. So if you decide that you want to be your own boss, oh my goodness, that is like amazing. You can do that, guys. You can have anything you want in your life. You might want to decide you want to have a better relationship or a closer relationship with God. Whatever that is, you get to choose. You get to choose. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. I'm going to go over this one more time. Make sure that you have clarity, deciding what it is that you want. Number 2, pick a lane. Either you're going to have fear or you're going to either you're going to have fear or you're going to have doubt. Which one it is? Fear or faith? And the last but not least is gratitude. I advise all of you guys is to take a 10 or 15 minutes of your day, maybe before you go to bed at night, and write down 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for that happened to you that day. Just try it. It's going to make a difference in your life. So think about it. You got this. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know it. So guys, I want to invite you to join me. I have a free masterclass. Starts on Monday. Monday, guys. If you're interested in it, you can inbox me, but I'll give you the bit.ly link to the masterclass. It is 5 days on manifesting exactly what you want. You will leave the class crystal clear on how to manifest exactly what you want. That is so key, guys. So I want to invite you guys, write this down. The bit.ly link to sign up is https://bit.ly, which is bit.ly/3705H0Z. That is the bit.ly link, guys, to register for my class. If you didn't get that, you can always inbox me at Tess Timms. Tess Timms is my name. I am the queen of increase. If you want to further understand a little bit more about manifesting exactly what you want, guys, I wanted to invite you to join me Monday. It's at 7 p.m. Central Time via Zoom. You have to register. So I want to thank you guys for listening to me. Gloria, thank you so much for this amazing platform. And all the women out there that are listening, keep doing what you're doing, guys. I'm so proud of everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful conference. Take care.
Thank you so much. Did you guys hear that? Fear and faith. When you have to choose faith over fear. That is amazing words to live by. We all every day have a choice, have a challenge. Is it going to scare me or is it going to empower me to take it to the next level? Am I a little girl looking in the mirror or am I a woman that today I am going to be my best me and I'm going to resonate my environment, that everything I do is going to set the stage to make everybody their best them. So thank you so much. Without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our next speaker, Jacqueline Lulu Brown. Fondly known as Lulu, is a dynamic woman of faith, and she spent 40 plus years in the information technology and engineering arena. She held technical, management, and executive leadership roles worldwide. She is a CEO of Revolution Sessions LLC and a transformational speaker, elevation leader, women's empowerment consultant. The woman does it all. She's a mentor, a licensed minister. She's spoken, coached, mentored women and girls across the world, many countries such as India, Dubai, United Kingdom, Australia, Israel, Spain, Antigua, Mexico, and Aruba. She is a phenomenal disruptor and radical agent for change. Moving away from the status quo, she teaches people to come outside the box, think outside the box, and not to be afraid of color outside the lines. We were taught that way back when. She's an expert, though leader. She helps women go from great to fantastic to phenomenal, extremely phenomenal. She delves in the heart and matters with solutions to operate in one's divine superpowers and non-conformance to the world systems of success. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Jacqueline Lulu Brown. There she is.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I appreciate it so much.
My pleasure.
All right, so we're going to get started here. And I hopefully everyone downloaded the workbook. There is about 6 pages. I am not going to go through it word by word. I am going to hit some high points. So just some of the high points in that workbook that you have, and hopefully you downloaded it. I'm going to share my screen and just go through I'm going to say some things that we really want to take away today. So very quickly here, let's get started. Okay, there we go. Okay. So tonight I have the honor and pleasure of speaking to you about business acumen. And this was a request from our Dr. Gloria, and she wanted women to walk away with understanding how important business acumen is and how very often we can sort of let it slide by the side and it sometimes hurts us. So there is no denigration, there is no condemnation here. It is just us elevating and looking to go to a higher level. So I'm starting with a quote here, and it says, it's by Kevin Hart, and it says, "My business acumen is definitely growing." And our business acumen should always be growing. We should never, ever stop growing from a business acumen perspective. So today, I just want to leave you with a thought, or I'll say this evening, I want to leave you with a thought to use your in between to really fix yourself and your business acumen in the areas that you need to. And I'm going to really be targeting this towards women of color because we pretty much struggle the most because sometimes we're always behind the 8 ball. So let's just get started here a little bit with this is not about religion. But Dr. Gloria is a God-centered woman, as am I, and I want to make sure that I give you some scripture just to be a little bit more relatable. So Deuteronomy 8:18 says, "Remember the Lord thy God. It is he that gives you power to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors as it is today." So just want to make sure it doesn't make a difference whether you say God, Allah, Adonai, Yahweh, Jehovah. It really doesn't make a difference. Just know, you may just say creator, but know that it is that divine higher power that gives you the ability to obtain wealth and everything else that you're looking to obtain in this world. And then my little personal quote at the bottom is that your skills and your special talents are given to you by God. And we always want to make sure that we are abiding in business acumen. So you're going to see things come up one at a time. So there's nothing wrong with your screen. I just want to give us a minute to sink this in a little bit. You will find the pieces that I'm sharing now. You will find this on pages 1 and 2 in the workbook if you downloaded it. So we're just going to kind of be quick, but we're going to go through these, just hit the screen with them one at a time. So there's some challenges that really hinder business acumen for us as women of color out the gate. And it's those kind of small, I'm going to say beginning stages, baby steps, that if we don't really understand those things and how to navigate them, we kind of will fall into what I call bad business acumen or the lack thereof. So let's just really quickly look at some of these things that I have here on the screen. Some of the things that really hinder us as soon as we start out as particularly women of color is defying social expectations. There's always this expectation where everybody's telling you what to do, how to do it, and there's sort of this conformance. And if you heard the introduction, I am that out of the box, step outside of the status quo. So a lot of times we find ourselves in this box of these social expectations that people define for us. And sometimes we find it a little difficult to defy those. But when we conform to something that doesn't work for us, doesn't work for you, doesn't work for me, what happens? Very, very often, it causes us to sort of go into a place with our business acumen that is really not authentically us. Another thing that is pretty tough right out of the gate is accessing funding. For women of color, accessing funding can be very tough. Well, while you're trying to access that funding, sometimes it is really difficult to just have that faith, stay firm, and know that as long as you show up in excellence and you are putting in the work and you are utilizing all your gifting, all your talents, and all your brilliance. Yes, I love those words. Those are Revolution Ascension hashtags because that is what is in you. Know that it will come. But sometimes when we're struggling with getting funding, well, business acumen can go out the window a little bit. And we have to make sure that we are staying in alignment with what our true self, our authenticity, as well as we are exercising good business acumen. Now, another thing is struggling for people to take us seriously. And this is a quote from David Mitchell. Now, this is a male that says, a weapon men use against women is the refusal to take them seriously. You can be in corporate, you can be in your business, in your entrepreneurship, you can be in ministry, you can be in the church, and men will often not take you seriously. So those are just some things that we face coming out of the gate, yet we are trying to remain in business acumen. So we find ourselves in this in-between place where sometimes we have to just kind of get it together and make sure that we're not straying off too far. The other thing is there's this false sense of integrating and balancing business and family life. You know what? It's really a lie. I'm sorry. Yes, I said it. There is no such thing as balance, because when you try to balance everything, again, this box that people put us in, you got to balance it. Well, when you try to balance everything, guess what tends to happen? Everything is not going to be equal. So something is going to go lacking. Thus, you see the picture of this lovely woman that looks crazed. So integrating is something very different. And that is a good business acumen trait to have. Integrate your family, your home life, whatever it is that you need to do. Try integrating it, making those in your household part of what you're doing instead of trying to balance and separate everything with them. Coping with fear of failure. When we are fearful and we are acting in fear, we will begin to kind of go off good business acumen. That's why Kevin Hart said it's growing continuously, because these seem like very basic, simple things. But when we're not paying attention to them and we are really kind of like in the heat of it, business acumen can take a tendency to go out the window. Operating in tactical desperation. Now, I have this in the workbook, but this is a whole entire class that I teach within the Ascension Academy, because very often we are in tactical desperation where we're just like in, and we only see what's right there in front of us, and we can't see any further than that. And we're in that desperate place. Business acumen goes out the window. Being authentically you, yet remaining professional, keeping your identity. You can exercise good business acumen, but you don't have to become somebody else. You don't have to become one of the good old boys. You can be who you are. This lovely lady right here, she looks pretty authentic to me. And you can be who you are, yet you can be professional. You can keep your identity. You don't have to be in that box that someone else put you in. So, as you can see the arrows here, these are just some of the challenges that when we don't check those challenges, they take us into a place of poor business acumen. Now, if we are not mastering the basics that we have challenges with out the gate, well, business acumen is really never learned, practiced, or mastered. So let's talk about solutions here. Well, first up, for some actions and solutions, apply business acumen, know what it is and why we need it. Well, what is it? Why do we need it? I've got a chart right here. This is in your workbook. And this is just in a very simple format to show you, well, what is this business acumen? It's real simple. It's the ability to understand how business operates and makes money. Whose business? Your business. It's also a way to proactively anticipate and navigate, leverage the trends that are impacting your business. We always, this is very important, we always have to know what is happening. So we want to be understanding what the future trends are. What are your individual organization drivers? What is the performance of those drivers? And what are the external factors like COVID-19? Hello, that was a big external factor. But guess what? COVID-19 caused some folks to operate out of tactical desperation, and business acumen went out the window. Take my class so we can go a little deeper on that one. I'm going to keep going here. Stand in your authenticity and your integrity. Don't lose it. Make sure that you are continuously standing in integrity. Integrity is something that you will see others just take and sort of lay over on the side. But integrity and your authenticity and who you are at your core, in your essence, is super important for you to properly and effectively embrace business acumen. Indulge in activities and community environments that allow you to live unapologetically. Don't put yourself in activities and communities that don't align with who you are, who your business is, and who you serve. Have an arsenal of reading materials, volunteer, network with people, but network with people that you admire. Have honest conversation with those people about the things that are going on in the world. You will find that you will be able to better navigate, better leverage, and understand what is happening in the business world at large. Ooh, excuse me, getting tongue-tied. Be business savvy and influential while supporting others. Being right is not always being effective. And I'm going to say this one again. Being right is not always being effective. Do you want to be right all the time, or do you want to be effective? Because when you are effective in what it is that you are doing, and you have the ability to influence without authority, our business acumen, it is really critical to have that ability to influence, be a savvy influencer, but yet you don't really necessarily have authority over people, because you don't have to be right, but you have to be effective in what it is that you're doing. This I can't stress enough. Understand the impacts of your business and the bottom line efficiency and profitability. Go back to the circle here. Remember, it says, and to proactively anticipate, navigate, leverage trends impacting your business. This is key, because guess what? When you don't do this and you're not focused on it, you are going to operate out of tactical desperation. Strategic planning is really important. So now when you're focused on strategic planning, you have to have a big picture. You have to see beyond where you are right now. You have to see beyond the current quarter's revenue. You absolutely have to be able to see where you're going, what the future trends are. That's what business acumen, these are some of the skills that are required for you to practice good big business acumen so that you can now make sure that your company and your business or your ministry or even in your career, if you're still in corporate, is literally thriving, not just surviving. So that tactical desperation, that's when we're not doing the other things. We're not looking at future trends and we're not anticipating those external factors. Guess what? Continue to read your workbook and the handout that I gave you, but this is it. This is pretty much what a good kind of snippet of business acumen. So I encourage you, if there are some of these things that you're missing, if some of the things in the beginning have caused you to say, wow, I am acting outside of business acumen because it was so hard for me out of the gate, then just take a look at these things and make sure that you incorporate them. Stay on top of your game and always know it. Last but not least, enlist in mentors and sponsors. Know the difference between the two. That is critical. Again, for the sake of time, we've got some other stuff in your workbook. And if you want to know more, well, you can always reach out for me to learn more about our topics, our workshops, our seminars, our international and stateside retreats, our Revolution Ascension Academy, our VIP one-on-one transformation program, customized just specifically for you. If you want to know more of those details, well, you can very easily inbox me on Facebook. In your workbook is all of my contact information, including emails and telephone numbers. All of that's in the workbook. So you want to make sure that you go and download that little short. It's only 6 pages. Just go ahead and download that so that you have that. You can also go on our business Facebook page. And our business Facebook page, the link is there, but it's also in that download little workbook. And you can have a 30-minute consultation and you can book it right on our business Facebook page. And we can talk about whether or not some of our other programs are a fit for you. In the meantime, as you see these pictures pop up, I said international retreats. Well, in September of this year, 2022, we are going to be in Aruba. And what you see is actually Aruba. That's actually where we're going to be. You have to inbox me to get the deets on that. Now you see these other pictures popping up. Yes, that's me. And where am I? I'm in Dubai. Where are we going and when are we going? March 2023. We're going to be in Dubai. And that is going to be our annual women's total women's retreat. So bye for now. Thank you so much for taking this listen. You can certainly send me questions. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. And by all means, take advantage of that 30-minute consultation. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Tanya Blackman. I am the founder of Conglomerate Empowerment and several other entities. And I am so happy to be in the house today. I want to personally thank Dr. Gloria Walton for allowing me to participate in this week's conference. I'm humbled because God allowed me to be on this stage with so many distinguished guests. Reverend Lulu Brown did an awesome job earlier, and I know her by her fruit. Thank you so much for blessing us, Reverend Lulu. Today, I have come to share some strategies that not only I use, but also my clients have used to manifest prosperous, purpose-filled situations. That's what it is. The name of my talk is Collaboration Over Competition, and I will be speaking on how you can turn collaborations into cash. In my talk today, I'm not only going to demystify the collaboration process, but I'm also going to share 3 surefire techniques that I said earlier that my clients and I have used to manifest $1,000 profits in our online businesses. So get ready to listen. Be sure to be interactive in the Facebook group, and listen until the end, because at the end I have some gifts I want to give to you. Okay, but you gotta be there in the end of my talk. Right now, what I'd like you to do though is I'd like you to go ahead and email me from your phone, or email me your address. I'm sorry, email me your email address at 702-271-9856. Once again, I need your email address at 702-271-9856. Themed today is called Purpose to Prosper. And what should that mean to us? I remember when I talked to Dr. Gloria about it, the first time when I heard about the theme, I was shook. To me, it means several different things. For example, it makes me feel like the theme Purpose to Prosper, it makes me feel like I've been born for a reason. God put me on this earth for a reason. It makes me feel like I'm valuable. And prayerfully, that's how you feel also. I want you to know that you are valuable. And we all are people in between a promise and manifestations, you know? So today I'm going to talk about how we can manifest into a prosperous, purpose-filled life or even business. During this time, I want to give you, everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice, I want to give everybody permission to dream again, to plan again, to start building again. Yes, you can, you will build the life of your dreams. Now is the time to go ahead and do it. And I challenge you guys, you men and women that are listening, don't do it alone. There's absolutely no reason why you should be doing it alone. Remember, the title of my talk is called Collaboration Over Competition. And I truly believe that every guest in this conference is uniquely qualified to assist us, that's you and me, as we climb and leap into our prosperous purposes. I'm not wrong about that. I know we all are uniquely qualified to do that. Which brings me to a first scripture, Ecclesiastes chapter 4, 9 and 10. It reads, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for the labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up, but pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. This is one of the reasons why I love collaborating with others. When I'm down, yes, we all fall down. There's always someone there to pick me up. And at the end of my talk, I'm going to be showing you how I can also help you, assist you in your business. Remember, do not go at it alone. First of all, let's talk about some definitions. Collaboration can mean a couple of things, according to the online dictionary that I looked at. The positive meaning is the action of working with someone to produce or create something. And then a negative definition was a traitorous cooperation with an enemy. That's when somebody is working with the enemy. To me, when a person does that, the negative definition of collaboration, they're really working as a competitor. The online dictionary also says that competition is the act or process of trying to get or win something others are also trying to get or win. It's almost like, to me, like being in a fight. So I challenge you. Do you want to collaborate or do you want to be in competition? I challenge you today. Let's collaborate. Now, some biblical examples of collaboration includes the 52 days project of Nehemiah rebuilding the wall in Jerusalem in the book of Nehemiah. That was an awesome example of collaboration. For the sake of time, I can't go into the book of Nehemiah all the way, but I'm telling you, if you get an opportunity to read the book of Nehemiah, because to me, it parallels building the business plan, working with others, what you do when you have to work against the enemies. Awesome, awesome book in the Bible. Another example of some biblical collaboration is with Jesus when he was working with the disciples. Jesus had a team of disciples, 12 disciples, and they went everywhere with him. And in the book of Mark, chapter 6, Jesus sent his disciples out to begin doing their own ministry in teams of 2. He gave them specific instructions to don't pack anything, but rather rely on people who invited them into their homes. I tell you that took some courage, and that really took faith in God to be able to go ahead and just 2 people together. Don't worry about packing anything, just going. So like Jesus, I said it earlier, I want to challenge you today. Start building collaborations. Why why do you think people prefer working alone? You know, and for me, I'm going to be honest. For me, I preferred it because I had trust issues and I had pride issues. I had to get my heart right and allow the healing to flow, you know, because out of all these billions and billions and just all these people in the world, are you going to tell me that God doesn't have one or two people for you and me that we can really trust? I beg to differ. There's many people, you know, there are many people that we can trust. And concerning pride, you know, if Tanya doesn't do it, then it's just not going to get done right. The devil is a liar. There are other people that can do what I do and do it even better. Why not go ahead and work with those people that do things really well, collab, and let's, you know what, let's make money together. Let's work together. So I had to stop allowing the hurt from my past to block my prosperity. That's right. I may as well go ahead and tell it like it is. I had to stop allowing the hurt from my past to block my prosperity. So if there's any trust or pride issues, I'm telling you, brother, sister, today, get that right. So that prosperous, purpose-filled life in any area in our lives, we'll be able to manifest that, okay? Now, today, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know everything and I can't do it all. So I thank God for my team and the support group that I have. They keep me grounded and they keep me honest. And they always keep me looking good. Are you ready for the challenge? I am. I'm always looking for people that I can collaborate with. That's right. Collab over competition. Here are 3 surefire techniques to manifest mucho dinero in your business. And I know they work because I've used them and my clients have used them too. Number 1, ask permission to start posting landing pages or flyers on different social media platforms. It could be Facebook groups. It could be LinkedIn. You know, that's how I started the Mucho Dinero podcast. I posted a link in there asking people to be on my podcast, you know, and then the next thing I knew, within 24 hours, I had 20 people that wanted to be on it, you know, and that was a couple of years ago. So, and it was a 30,000 member Facebook group that I actually posted in there, you know, and that's really what happened. So always ask permission first. And here's another thing. You can post from your own page also. You don't have to ask permission for that, you know, and when you post, you want to post landing pages or flyers. If you need help with getting that done, contact me. Either myself or my team can help you with that. Here's some other truth. I have a client that made over $3,500 in 30 days by using this very technique recently. $3,500 in 30 days. I know it works. I did this also myself at the end of last year. I posted a flyer asking people to be part of the How I Made It Over anthology, you know, and then within a day or two, you know, I had close to 30 something people that was interested, but only 28 people actually ended up going ahead and submitting everything. So I'm telling you, this strategy, number 1, does work. Another surefire technique in order to turn a technique into actually making a mucho dinero in your business is to participate in project-based or job task-based collaborations. For example, I'm real good at finding grants. I'm real good at writing grants. I'm real good at helping people start their new businesses. Like I'll do all the docs and what have you for them. But I have a partner that would prefer just to work on the accounting portion of it. So you know what I do? I get all the people set up with their accounts and what have you. And then I refer them to her so that they can go ahead and get their books in order. You guys get the picture. You know what I'm saying. I absolutely love helping people start new businesses and getting ready to apply and win grants. So I have many, many partners that don't do that portion, but they will refer people to me. Okay. So participate in project-based or job task-based collabs. It works really good. I do one portion of the work. The partner does the other portion of the work. And guess what? We work together. We have a happy client and we both get paid. The last one and the third one is affiliates or written agreements. That's when you give somebody a cash referral or there's a mutual benefit. I have, you know, straight up, I pay 10% commission on all high ticket clients that are referred to me whenever the deal is closed. I give them a 10% kickback for that, you know. Then the mutual benefit is this. I have people that I just send, like I don't do graphic designs. I do a little bit, but not a lot. But for graphic designs, I have 2 people that I just send everybody to them. All of my clients that need graphic designs, I send it directly to them. So in summary, there are 3 techniques that you can use to increase online sales. Post landing pages or flyers on social media, but remember, get permission to do that. You don't need permission on your own platform, but you do need permissions from other people. Participate in project-based or job task-based collabs. You do a part of work, somebody else does a part of the work, and you both get paid. And number 3, don't forget number 3, cash for referrals. Lots of times these days, people just send me clients and I'll just go ahead and give them a referral. That works, or mutual benefit. Somebody else does something for me, I do it for them. So I'm always like referring people out to different things that I don't actually do. I'm so happy to be a part of this program today. I got three or four more minutes, and I want to thank everybody for staying into the end of my particular talk today. And because you stayed to the end, everybody, remember 702-271-9856. Everybody that actually texts me their email address, I'm going to send you a checklist. It's going to be how to get grants. It's a cheat sheet that I use not only for myself but also for my clients on how to get grants. So if you need funding or whatever, I'm here to help. If I can't help you, I know some other people that can. Let's work together. Let's collab together. And I just want to take the last few minutes to really encourage you and to let you know that the sky is not the limit. It's, there's something beyond the skies. So that's what we should be reaching for. And I really want to share what I was listening to last night about some of the things I heard when Oprah was interviewing Miss Viola Davis. I applaud each one of the women, and it's a story about Miss Viola's life. She just wrote a book, and I remember Oprah telling her and reading a passage from the book. And it talked about how when Miss Viola, she was born in South Carolina, South Carolina in the house. I was born in South Carolina, and I'm a Southern girl to the bone. And Miss Viola and her family left to go live in Rhode Island when she was a baby. And when they were there, they lived in extreme poverty. It's just so horrible. And one of the stories that Oprah talked about during that time was when Miss Viola said that they lived in an apartment that had rats everywhere, and that she woke up and then the rats had eaten the faces off of her dolls. And I just thought about, my God, when you look at Miss Viola Davis, you don't see that on her at all. And she talked about so many other different tragedies in the book. But that rat story actually did something to me. And I remember Miss Viola talking about how difficult it was for her as a youngster in her family, because she said they were always cold and they was always hungry. And she talked about how they didn't have running water or didn't have hot water many times, and they didn't have electricity, and how they only got hand-me-downs all the time. And all I can say, if you're listening to me, that if God did it for Miss Viola Davis, you hear me? God said he's no respecter of persons. So now is the time to manifest. Remember, the theme of this conference is purpose to prosper. You know what I'm saying? Now is the time for us to manifest. Now is the time for us to stop hanging, right? In between, right? But to listen, not only to me, but to everybody in this conference. Take your notes and apply the truth that you have learned and go forward and just be prosperous and live the life you want. Build the business you want, And I decree and declare that no weapon formed against you or I shall prosper. In Jesus' name, okay? You got this. That dream that God told you, that dream that you dreamed about last night, that thing that really is coming up in your spirit that you want to do, that ministry you want, that nonprofit you want, that business you want, it can be yours. Just go forward. Remember, I can be reached. Just text me 702-271-9856. I can be reached. Text there. And I'd like you to text your email address. I want to send you the How to Get Grants cheat sheet. And anything on that list that I shared with you today about how not only myself, but my clients have also manifested thousands of dollars in their particular business, I'll be happy to sit with you and talk to you about that. You know how to get in contact with me. I thank God for this opportunity. I thank God for Miss Gloria. This is just day one, and I know that it's just going to get better and better and better throughout this entire conference. Remember, always collab over competitions. Don't do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You do not have to do it alone. Thank you, Miss Cherie. I am done. And thank you for this opportunity.
Dr. Tanya Blackman, she really gave us some things to think about. She said collaboration over competition. I know I'm going to go back and read Nehemiah and find out about the collaboration example that she gave us. She talked about landing pages, posting flyers, participating in anthologies, and she also talked about affiliate programs. I hope that you all were taking notes. I now have the pleasure of introducing to you Coach Takira TK Terrell. Before I bring her on, I am happy to say that we have 3 giveaways at this point because Dr. Gloria was kind enough to purchase journals written by Dr. Takira, Coach TK. And those journals are going to Rosalind C. Robinson, Cindy Richardson, and Sonia Jones Hughes, my friend. Whoop, whoop. So we are excited about that. But let me tell you a little bit about Coach TK. She is a native of Detroit, Michigan. She is the founder and owner of Minding My Vision LLC. The mission of her business, Minding My Vision LLC, is to equip and empower you to live your identified truth and not the story of your trauma. I like that. Live your identified truth and not the story of your trauma. There is a commitment to transformation, authenticity, and activation of resiliency skills. Uh-oh, I'm getting a message that I'm muted. I'm not sure why, because that's not the end. So I hope that you all can hear me as I speak about Takira, Coach TK. She has practiced as a mental health therapist for over 5 years. She specializes in working with trauma. She is currently full-time in her business. Coach TK Takira Tyrell.
Oh, hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Coach KP. Thank you, Dr. Gloria, for this opportunity. I just wanted to show you all real quick the journal that you will be getting, those who won. This is from a series that I made. It's the I Am Journal Collection. This one is I Am Multi. So it says I am unstoppable, resilient, creative, innovative, um, wealth, favor, value, desired, worthy, redeemed, healthy, fierce, blessed, divine. There are several others in it. Um, this one says I am living my truth, successful, purposed. Um, this one is the I Am Gold series, light, power, a vibe, beauty, fire woman, radiance. And this one is I Am Serenity. Okay. Um, so those are so what I will be talking about tonight, very briefly, is the power of our self-talk and how we see ourselves. Because before I can collaborate with anyone else, before I can collaborate and work well with someone, I have to develop emotional intelligence on the inside of me. I have to be able to ascertain or discern what's happening. I have to be able to read the room accurately, right? I have to be able to go into relationships and build relationships, but I've got to be okay first. I have to be okay first. And what I have found in the years of me working with many women of faith is that a lot of us have buried trauma, a lot of us have buried pain, we have buried situations that present as a barrier to us actually succeeding in the thing that God has for us to do, whether it's in ministry, whether it's in business, whether it's just being, being a good wife, a good mother. We have things that have happened to us that we end up creating what I call internal vows, right? And this is at the level of my soul. my soul. There are wounds to our souls where our spirit can be fine. We know what we believe. We know we can stand on the word. We can stand on what God has said. We can stand on business principles. We can stand on these convictions, these beliefs. But if there is a wound that has been left unaddressed in my soul, I can't always stand on that, because I'm going to filter everything through those thoughts, through those experiences. And so that's why in my business, the slogan, the tagline, whatever you want to say, but how I choose to live my life is that I'm going to live my identified truth. And that truth is the truth that God has spoken over me, my beliefs and my convictions. And I have to do the work in my soul. And so one of the things that when I'm going to collaborate with anyone, I have to understand that the first collaboration that I have to do is with me. I have to connect with myself again, align with myself again. So many times we live, just as Reverend Lulu said earlier, we live separated, dissociated lives. We're not integrated. We're disconnected. And one of the important things that we learn to do before we collaborate on the outside, external collaborations, we've got to learn to connect to ourselves internally, right? We have to align to ourselves internally. Well, how do you do that? So one of the things that I love doing, I go through this with my clients. I just taught in this in a free workshop that I did in talking about emotional intelligence, is the how method. The how method. Because I say this, it's not always what I've been through, it's how I'm navigating that experience. It's not always what I'm talking about, but it's the how I'm talking about it. It's not always the what, but it's the how. The how is just as important as what I'm choosing to do, what I'm choosing to believe God for, what the vision is. I have to know how to do it, right? So the first thing that I talk about is being honest. You have to be honest with yourself. Sometimes it takes in counseling what we call radical acceptance and being honest. Radical acceptance says it happened. I'm acknowledging that it happened. I'm not coming into agreement. That's a big difference. I'm acknowledging that it happened, but I'm not coming into agreement with it. I don't like that it happened, but I'm choosing to let it go. And let it go doesn't mean that I'm forgetting about it. That's not what we're talking about. But letting it go means that you're providing yourself with the opportunity to no longer allow the power of the situation to dictate your life. So we have to be honest and acknowledge that we need help. I need help in certain areas. I need help in order to move forward in my life. I need help. One of the hardest things that I myself have had to deal with was my own issues with pride, with perfectionism. I wouldn't start something if I had a belief that it wasn't going to be perfect. And so it takes me being honest with myself in order to be here, in order to be able to present this information to you all. Be honest with yourself about where you are. The beautiful thing about it is that when we are allowing ourselves to be where we are, we also open up the opportunity for God to meet us where we are, because we've already surrendered the fact that I can't do this by myself. I need help. Be honest with yourself. Honesty. Okay? Just in like Luke 13, when Jesus was talking, Jesus was in the synagogues, right? He was just talking. He was just doing something different because they had never really heard or seen, Jesus was new on the scene. And there was a lady who was bent over, and she walked around bent over for 18 years. The Bible says that she had been struggling with this affliction for 18 years, this infirmity for 18 years. And Jesus just so happened to be there, but she was going about business as usual. He called her name. He said something to her, got her attention and said, woman, you're healed and you can stand up straight. How many of us are willing to admit that I'm bent over, that I'm struggling, that something is burdening me, something is causing me to repeat cycles, something is causing me to not move forward, something is causing me to not step out on faith. Something is a barrier. How many of us are willing to be honest with ourselves in order to experience a shift in how I think and how I talk about me? The next step in the how method is to be open. Be open. One of the things that I love that she said, at the very first person who spoke, was surrender the outcome. We have to be open to how God chooses to heal us, how he's saying, hey, I need you to work with this person. This is the point in time where you really do have to surrender and let go of those internal vows. You have to break the vow that you wrote with yourself, the contract you wrote with you out of your pain, and be open. God, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I'm going to be open to allowing you to move. I'm going to be open to a new way of thinking, open to a new way of doing it. In counseling, there's a concept that's called emotional or cognitive dissonance. And that's that internal struggle that you feel when you're presented with new information. And a lot of us are more comfortable siding with familiarity than operating in freedom. And so when we are open, we're allowing ourselves a new opportunity to flow in the freedom, to speak different about myself. I'm opening myself up. And that requires a great deal of vulnerability. It really does. And I have a whole teaching on vulnerability, but it does require a great deal of vulnerability. But guess what? You already started that process when you engaged in radical acceptance and when you were honest with yourself about where you are. I hope y'all following me. Okay? Being honest, being open. The last thing in the how method is being willing. Willingness is not so much about my agreeability or me being agreeable to it. My willingness is my posture. Am I postured in positioning myself to the things that God is telling me to do? What I open myself to? Am I going to involve myself in action that is going to allow me to flow in and move in that new thing? It's about our posture and our positioning. Am I positioned for the place of healing? Am I positioned to move differently? Am I postured to receive and be open to doing the action? So all of this requires a level of action from you. What are you going to do different? You know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, it's time for you to do something different. It's time to move differently. It's time for you to move differently. And so one of the things that you can do to start taking action is, I don't have my keys. One of the things that you can do to start taking action is coming into alignment. So that action piece is a verb. Action, when you take action, it's a verb. So you have to be willing to do something. Write down what your vision is. Where do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? Right? One of the things that I love about our brains is that our brains doesn't have the ability to dictate or say what's real and what's not until we tell it. That our brains cannot tell what's real and what's imagined. That's why when you're stuck in a trauma loop, when you're experiencing flashbacks, your brain doesn't have the capability or ability to differentiate between this is happening right now versus this has happened in the past. That same process applies when I sit down and I begin to visualize where I want to be, how I want to be. And so guess what? Your brain is going to treat that as if it is a real lived experience. A real lived experience. And so what we have to do is really understand that when I begin to visualize this, I'm beginning to flow in the how method. I'm being honest with myself about where I want to be. I'm open to new possibilities, and I am willingly engaging in an activity. I'm willingly engaging in a process that is going to help facilitate me getting to my place of healing and wholeness and where I want to be. Healing, wholeness, and where I want to be. And so I hope that this was helpful. I hope that there was some information here that can really charge you and ignite you to do the work that is going to be critical for you, even developing emotional intelligence, working with other people, because it really does start with connecting with ourselves. It really does start with connecting with us. The Bible says one of the greatest commandments is to love your neighbors as who? Myself. So if I'm going to be in business practices, if I'm going to do a lot of the things that God is calling me to do, I got to make sure I love me first. I love God first, but I have to learn how to love me. I have to learn how to invest in me. I have to learn how to take care of me. I have to learn how to, in some ways, be a little bit more selfish and set better boundaries. And so this is how we do it. And so I hope that this was helpful, that you got something from it. If you are more interested in things that I'm doing, workshops, things like that, you can follow me at www.mindingmyvisionllc.com. You can follow me on Facebook and Facebook at author Takira T.K. Terrell and Instagram at Minding My Vision Official. So thank you, Miss Karen KD. KP, I think that's about it. That's all I have, but I really hope that someone was blessed and that this was encouraging.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and our company is Sales Team Guru. And I want to welcome you to this conversation we're going to have, which is how to build a 7-figure sales team. And we have one mission. Yes, one mission. And that mission is to make sure that we're able to give you all of the revenue. The revenue. If you're out there right now and you're an entrepreneur, say revenue. No, seriously, say revenue right now. Our number one mission right now is to make sure you get all of the revenue that's necessary to execute 3 visions that you have. This is what how to build a 7-figure sales team is all about. It's not about the money. It really isn't. But it's about making sure that you have the revenue that's necessary to execute 3 visions. First, the vision for yourself. I know there's a certain way that you want to live. I know there's a certain home that you want to be in. I know right now there's certain clothes that you want to wear. There's even a certain food. I know it's organic. And it's going to take some resources, which means you need some revenue. And that's what the 7-figure sales team is going to help you do. Yes, I know. For others of you, you have a vision for your loved ones. You want to send your kids to a school of your choice. I get it. You want to write a check for someone's healthcare insurance or write a check for a cause that you believe in. I have the benefit of taking care of Mother Dear. She's still here. She's 74 years old at the time of this recording. And it's a blessing to be able to make sure that I can help her get what she needs and what she wants. And some of you are like me. It takes resources. That means it takes revenue. And let me tell you the third. I'm going to get into some good stuff. Don't worry. But I believe there's a third vision you have. You have a vision for the people you were called to serve right now. And the only way you can execute that vision is to have the resources. And I always start with the story of Noah in the Bible. And you don't have to be a believer. You don't. Don't worry. I'm going to get into how to build a 7-figure sales team. But if you're out there right now, I want you to know it's much bigger than that. So imagine you're Noah, whether you're a believer or not. I'm not going to impose my faith on you. And you tell yourself, you know what? I'm ready to get going. And before you get going, there's a knock at the door. And someone says, hey, Noah, I'm sorry to report over here, but there's no hammers in the house. You say, no worries, no big deal. I got all the experience. I got all the expertise. God's given me everything I need. And then there's another knock at the door. You're like, what's going on? No, I might report there are no nails either. No hammer, no nails. I'm okay. Rule number 1, don't panic. Oh my gosh, there's that third knock at the door. The third knock at the door, you know what that means. That means that ain't good news. Hey, Nora, I might as well let you know there are no people. And by the way, there are no wood. Good luck on this mission. And that's you. You're tired of that. You're like, oh my gosh, Shay, if I just had the resources, I could execute the vision I have for the people I was called to serve. Well, your prayers have been answered, not because of me. It's not about Shay Brown. I promise you, it's not about Shay Brown at all, but it's all about you and how to build a 7-figure sales team. So for some of you who are tuning in for the very first time and you just meet me, don't worry, by the way. My name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. I'm super excited, but it's not about me. Although I'm here, it's not about me. It's all about you. And I do want to lay something on you that selling will solve any business problem. Go ahead and jot that down in your notes right now. Selling will help you solve any business problem. So we're going to talk about how to build a 7-figure sales team, because right now you're like, Shay, I need a new website. It takes revenue. Shay, I need to hire a personal assistant. It takes revenue. Shay, I need to make sure I can hire a tech team. It takes revenue. Shay, I need someone to do all of my marketing. I need a coach. I need a firm. It takes revenue. Selling will solve any business problem. You need a new computer right now, or you need you need a new webcam or a new camera? Selling will solve any business problem. Go ahead and jot that down in your notes right now. Selling will solve any business problem. And here's what I want you to know as we get started. All roads in business, everything you're doing right now, everything you're doing leads to a professional sales conversation. So when we talk about how to build a 7-figure sales team, yeah, it's going to help you generate revenue. I get that. And yeah, it's going to help you get the resources you need. I get that. And yeah, your family, your family's going to live the way you always wanted them to live. But all of your marketing leads to a professional sales presentation. All your Facebook ads lead to a professional sales conversation. All of your webinars and masterclasses lead to a professional sales presentation. All of your technology leads to a professional sales presentation. Everyone jot this down in your notes. All roads in business lead to one place and one place only. And where does that one place lead? They all lead to professional sales conversation. So this conversation that we're having right now, this conversation is for you right now. If you're out there, you're like, you know what, Shay? I want to make sure I'm at the right place. If you hate sales, this conversation's for you. Although you got to do all the sales right now, you hate it. You pay attention. If you don't sell right now because you're a full-time entrepreneur, you don't eat. This conversation is for you. If you're just tired of talking to unqualified leads, like Shay, if I got to talk to one more person that don't have the money, that don't have the time, that not sure if they don't want to do it, I'm so frustrated. I could be doing something else with my time, then this conversation is for you. Or maybe, as you're listening right now, you just have a vision for the people you were called to serve. If that's you right now, then I'm going to introduce you to the 4S formula, and then we're going to get started. Don't worry, I'm going to share everything that you need. I'm going to help you out, but jot this in your notes. Write this down right now. Take a picture of this. If you don't do anything else, put this in your notes. This is my philosophy. It's what drives our company, and that is systems beat goals every single time. Put that in your notes. I don't want you to miss that. Systems beat goals every single time. Shay, why is that? Because systems are duplicatable. Systems are repeatable. Systems are something you can hand off to someone else to do the work. And you think about it. If you're lacking revenue right now, it's because of your lead generation systems. There's not enough qualified folks coming in. Someone say hello. Someone say, Shay, I hear you. If right now there's not enough revenue, it's because you have a system to have the right team in place to get it done. Someone say, Shay, that's me. Or maybe right now as you're listening, you've gone to all the seminars. You watched all of the webinars. You've been to all the masterclasses. In fact, you're tuning in, but yet there's no system to bring in predictable, reliable, consistent revenue because you got to do all the work and you're tired of that. If that's you, I want you to jot down your notes right now with every fiber in my body. I want you to hear me. Listen very carefully that systems beat goals every single time. So let me give you the 4S formula. Then we're going to get going. The 4S formula. Take a picture of this right now. S plus S plus S equals S. I want you to get this. Let me give you a system. So it's systems plus strategy plus sales equals a successful CEO. Shay, break that thing down for me real quick if you can. I only got so much time, but I'm going to help you build a 7-figure sales team. But first, I want to make sure you have revenue. What is a system? It's a set of detailed methods or procedures of what you're doing on a continuous basis in order to generate revenue. Sales team is a system. Now, if you didn't come to this call, you didn't show up at this webinar, you didn't show up at this masterclass, you didn't show up at this summit, if you didn't show up with just that one idea that I need a sales team, then I want you to know that a sales team is a system to generate the revenue you need. What is a strategy? We'll talk about that later. That's the evergreen revenue model. The evergreen revenue model is how do you do something one time and your labor's no longer involved. And that's what a sales team allows you to do. Yeah, there's an evergreen prospecting sequence. I get it. There's an evergreen engagement sequence. You got to engage your clients. I get it. There's an evergreen sales system. I get that. But at the end of the day, that's the model that drives everything. That's the strategy that you put into the system. We'll get into that. I don't have time right now. Then what is sales? Shay, you're talking about I need a sales team. Can you break down your definition of sales so we all have the same philosophy? Sales is a source that provides the revenue to purchase the resources that are necessary to execute the vision for yourself. Did I start off that way? The vision for your loved ones. Did I start off that way? And the vision for the people you were called to serve. So Shay, if you're talking about that and you're going to get into how to build a 7-figure sales team, I'm feeling you. I'm smelling what you're cooking in the kitchen over here. I'm with you all the way. But Shay, what is a successful CEO? Can you break that thing down for me? Sure. A successful CEO, this is you, has more cash flow, has more profits, and has more freedom to spend time with the loved ones to do the things they really want to do. So right now, if you don't have any freedom because you're working all these hours, then I want you to pay attention. If you're someone that don't have the revenue, because if you don't be there, you can't stop to go to your daughter's recital. You can't go to your son's football game. You can't even right now go to the doctor without having your phone like this. Then you need a system. You need a sales team. You need someone to help generate revenue. See, a successful CEO has more cash flow. That's money coming in, more profits than money going out, and they got the freedom. If that's you, I want you to use a daily affirmation I share with one of my clients and create the greatest breakthrough for them. I only got so much time, but I'm going to teach you how to build a 7-figure sales team. But jot this down in your notes. I am a successful CEO. Don't worry about being an entrepreneur. Don't worry about being a faithpreneur. Don't worry about being a happypreneur. Don't worry about being a mompreneur. You be a successful CEO. When you signed those papers down there at the courthouse or you went online and you came a business, a successful CEO is who you are. Put down, I am a successful CEO, because systems beat goals every single time. Jot that down in your notes. Please don't miss that. Systems beat goals every single time. I'm going to say that one more time and say that one more time. And please, if you're out there right now, I want you to jot this down in your notes. I don't want you to miss this. I want you to put this in your notes right now. Systems beat goals every single time. I am a successful CEO. Say it loud. I am a successful CEO. Say it one more time for me. I am a successful CEO. Here's what I'm going to do for all of you out there. I'm going to give you a free gift. It's my gift to you. And I'm going to get into how to build a 7-figure sales team right now. But I'm sensing some of you just want the playbook on how to put together the right system so you can not have to take any notes. Because I'm about to go rapid fire, okay? You don't want to worry about taking notes. Text the word team right now. Text the word, get your mobile number. I'm only doing this. Get your mobile number out right now. Text the word team. I'm going to give you the playbook. I'm going to give you the masterclass series I did because I only got so much time on how to build a 7-figure sales team. I'm going to give you the how to build a 7-figure sales team challenge. So I'm going to work with you for 5 days and help you build your team. And then for some of you, I'm going to do a one-on-one customized session with me or one of my certified representatives. So here's what you're doing. Let me give you the instructions, and then we got to go rapid fire. Number 1. Text the word team right now. Text the word team to 202-270-1662. Again, 202-270-1662. Let me give it again. Text the word team to 202-270-1662. Now, when you text, do it right now. Do it now. When now? When now? Now is the time. When you do it now. Include your first name so I know who you are. Include your last name so I know who you are. Include your best contact number. Now, you only texting team because you're ready to have a sales team. And put your best contact number and email. For some of you, we're going to just text it right to you. You can click a link. Some of you love to do it right on your phone. Others of you still want an email coming to you. I get it. So we'll send an email as well because you might not be able to save it to your phone. Been there, done that. But here's my promise to you. It'll create a breakthrough. Now, I'm going to give you the 5 components of a 7-figure sales team right now. And I'm going to go rapid fire. I only got so much time. But if you're out there right now, you haven't done it, text the word team to 202-270-1662. Again, 202-270-1662. I know for some of you listening, now is your time. Now is your time. One of the things my mentor has taught me, he says it over and over again, it's really landed with me. He says, Shay, now is the time to get the team going. When's the best time to plant a tree? When was the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the best time to plant a tree? right now. So now is the time. Let's prepare now. So let's do it. So let me go and go over the 5 components of a 7-figure sales team. Because when I asked the question to folks, what are the components of a 7-figure sales team? How do you even build a 7-figure sales team? Most folks don't even know. They have no clue. They're like, I don't know, Shay, hire a representative. And then I hire more sales reps. And I hire more people. I'm like, no, you'll never get there at that pace. So let me unleash the formula that's taken me 15, almost 20 years to learn. It's not about the 20 years, but you don't have to go through that. You want predictable. You want reliable, you want consistent revenue without your labor, then let me go ahead and drop it on you right now. Let's go ahead and show it to them. And for those folks that texted in, you'll get all the details. Hope you did that. The components of a 7-figure sales team. There are 5 components of a 7-figure sales team. Component number 1 is a sales rep. The first thing I want you to do is make a commitment that you're going to hire a sales rep. Now, here's what a sales rep does. A sales rep works on 100% commission. That means that they go out, they understand all your products and services, they make a sale, and when they bring in the money, you get a percentage of it. So let's imagine for a moment that they go out and sell $20,000 of revenue for you that you didn't spend any time with. And yet, as a result, you paid them a 20% commission. For some of you, it's higher, some of you, it's lower. 20% of $20,000 is $4,000. So you got $20,000 of revenue without your labor. Minus $4,000, just for the example, that means there's $16,000 left in. How many of you out there right now that are doing all the sales? And if you just had a sales rep bringing in half the revenue you're bringing in right now, or double the revenue you're bringing in right now, your business would double right now. Your problems would be solved. Put 2 hands up if that's you. Sales rep. Go ahead and make a commitment. Write down in your notes right now. I will have a sales rep. So number 1 is a sales rep. For those that texted in earlier, and I'll give you that number again, we'll help you recruit. We'll help you train. We'll do that for you. Don't worry. But you make a commitment that you're going to have a sales rep. Number 2 is you need a sales affiliate. Now, Shay, can you break down what's the difference between a sales affiliate and a sales rep? A sales affiliate understands 1 or 2 of your products. And they're a mercenary. They're only in it for the money. The sales rep understood all of your products and services. They're in it for the commission, but they like you. The sales affiliate, you got to think of Amazon. You walk into Amazon, they own maybe 30% of the products in there. The other 70%, they're affiliates of. When you get your charger, that's not Amazon. When you get the glass screen, that's not Amazon. When you buy headsets, they use the Bose headsets, that's not Amazon. And so I want you to think right now, if you're a coach, what type of affiliates do you have right now to sell your products and services? A sales affiliates are mercenaries. They're in it for the money. They're in spaces you're not in. They're in places you're not at. They bring traffic to your website you can't generate. They bring people to your masterclasses and your webinars when you're not there. They fill your virtual summits, and some of you, your live summits. That's what a sales affiliate is. So it makes sense. For some of you, if you're a life coach, it makes sense that you have an affiliate with someone that maybe does health and wellness. Here's the question. How much revenue did you generate over the last 90 days from just a sales rep? For many, 0 or not enough. How much revenue did you generate just from your sales affiliates team? For many, not enough. And if that's you and you're saying, Shay, it's not enough, I understand. Let me go over the last 2 if I can. The next one is a sales ambassador. Now, we're going to teach you how to do a sales affiliate. I'm going to give you all of the software you need so it's none of your labor, okay? Some of you texted it earlier. I'm going to give you that number in a minute. You'll get that. The sales ambassador, they understand that they're not in it for the money. They're only in it for rewards and recognition. Rewards and recognition. They're already in your circle. And they believe in your mission. They believe in the company's goals. They believe in the company's objectives. They're not in it for the money. You cannot motivate them with money. You can motivate them with a free iPad. You can motivate them with an Apple Watch. You can give them gifts and recognize them for just believing in the mission, goals, and objectives. How much revenue did you generate over the last 90 days just in that one area? For many of you, not enough. Just not enough. So I want you to have sales ambassadors. We're going to teach you how to do that. Digital sales solution. You know, this is hot right now and it's popular. A number of folks are talking about it. Yeah, you got to have a digital sales solution. You need a sales funnel. You got to bring them to a sales page. They got to buy. Folks aren't buying on their sales pages. And the number one reason they aren't buying on their sales pages is because the purpose of a sales page is just to get the information. So you need to take the pricing off sometime a sales page, and you need to take them to the checkout page. So they opt in to give you all their information. Then they go to a checkout page where they can see the value. Now that's important because price only matters in the absence of value. So if you can get the value to be there, and then you take them to checkout, now you have all their information. If they don't buy, you can follow up. I was working with a client recently. They said, Shay, I don't even know who went to my page. I had 3,000 people that went to my page. No one bought. We couldn't follow up with anybody because none of them opted in. They saw the price, didn't buy right there. For some of you, this is a breakthrough. Look, to build a 7-figure sales team is going to take a sales rep. It's going to take a sales and affiliate team. It's going to take a sales ambassador team. It's going to take a digital sales solution team. And I know it's going to take your sales cheerleader, which I don't have time to get into that, but the sales cheerleader, their number one focus at the end of the day is making sure that we tell the story of all your successful clients. Here's what I want to share with you. You can build a 7-figure sales team. Do you have to do all 5 at one time? No. But I want you to make a commitment right now that you're going to take your labor out of it. You will not be the number one salesperson. You will not be the number one marketing person. You will not be the number one project manager. You will not be the number one tech person. You will not be the number one Facebook ad person. You will not be the number one collaborator. You will not be the number one marketer. You will not be the number one recruiter. You're going to take those hats off. You're going to continue to do that. I want you to focus on just being you. Let your sales team do the work. Let the sales team bring in the revenue without your labor. If that's you and that really resonates with you and you're like, Shay, that resonates loud and clear, then I want you to do me a favor. In the time we have left, I want you to text the word team right now. I'm going to help you, give you free access to the playbook. I'm going to give you the masterclass series. And I'm going to give you the challenge. And I'm going to work with some of you one-on-one. You've got to take action. The university rewards people who take action differently than those that don't. Text the word team right now to 202-270-1662. Include your first name, include your last name, include your best contact number. I'm requiring that. Now, I'm going to share this with you, and I'm going to help you on this journey. But at the end of the day, success is a team sport. You can only get so far by yourself. I love the quote. As many of you are texting in right now, I love the quote. You can build a ship by yourself, but it takes a team to sail that sucker. And that's what's going on right now. We're all out in the same ocean. Now, the question is, who's on your team? Build your sales team. Text the word text the word team to 202-270-1662. Include your first name, include your last name, include your best contact number and your email. I'm going to send you the playbook. I'm going to send you the masterclass series. I'm going to make sure you join the challenge. And more importantly, we're going to have a one-on-one session. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Remember, time is long. Life is short. You got to live in the moment and you got to make it count. God bless. I'm out of here. Peace.
Oh my God, thank you so much. We have learned so much from Mr. Shay Brown. We were writing down the strategies, the 5 things to be a rep, a sales affiliate, an ambassador, digital sales solutions, and a cheerleader. And we can all guarantee, hands down, there is no other better cheerleader than what we heard from him. That's why we can see why he is the number one talk show that he has. So moving right along, thank you for everybody that's hanging on with us. This is a really exciting day. We have a lot of information, but it is my honor and pleasure to introduce our next presenter, Mr. Troy Holt. He's the founder of Troy Holt Consulting, where he served as the CEO of a growing consulting company. He's licensed in 14 states as an independent coach, speaker, and trainer. He's an Amazon bestseller author and host of growing podcasts called Troy Talks. Troy's business focuses on 2 areas. First, he empowers and educates individuals and small business owners on how money works to help them to accomplish their goals of wealth accumulation, wealth preservation, and debt elimination. Troy attributes part of his success to the confidence he gained from the John Maxwell Company, with whom he served as an independent coach, speaker, and trainer. Through his collaborative and hands-on training with the company, he has extensive success in business growth, development, and financial planning. As an innovative leader and effective communicator, Troy's success is grounded in his impeccable work ethic and drive. Currently, Troy's expertise allows him to work both as a financial educator, coach, and trainer. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Troy Holt.
Thank you, Bella. I'm wondering who was the guy you were talking about when you was going through with that introduction. Who is that guy? But
That was you, sir.
thank you, Bella. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I want to also thank Dr. Walton for putting on this particular conference and for allowing me to be a part of this conference. So I'm truly grateful. I do have a presentation that I'm going to say, and I know I've got about 20 minutes. And so I hope I don't go too fast because I have a couple of presentations. I got 2 presentations together, but I wanted to get a lot of this information and share it out. So again, thank you. So this particular presentation deals with No Woman Left Behind. And the reason why this is important is because, let me go to the next slide and tell you why this is so important. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So I don't know if you realize that pre-COVID, 43% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And then during COVID, it increased to 63%. Okay, so stay with me here. Now, of this particular number, 85% of those were women. Now, 43% pre-COVID live paycheck to paycheck. During COVID, it jumped to 63%. But of that number, 85% of those were women. Now, it's very important that we understand how important this is. 85% of those were women. Now, women, for every dollar that a man makes, a woman makes 82 cents for every dollar that a man makes. Now, but check this out. If it's a black woman, for every dollar that a man makes, she makes on a high end 68 cents, but on the low end it's 58 cents. These numbers are staggering, and they really bothered me when I learned about these numbers. So let's kind of see a little bit why in a second. But also notice this: Black women are some of the most educated women in the world, but they carry the most student loan debt. Now, they've been told, hey, if you want to grow, you want to increase, you want to do better, get an education, go to school that give you opportunities to get an education. However, they got the education, but they are being paid the most. Now, women in general, there's a big gender pay gap. Last month they had equal pay, gender pay, and it's something that has been going on for years. Now, there are many reasons why this happens. Women tend to take days off from work, away from their careers, to take care of children, take care of parents, or other loved ones. Majority of the time, it's the women that's taking off and not the men. These interruptions with women in their careers have big impacts on promotions, their ability to learn higher level incomes, and even sometimes their retirement benefits. It affects all of this. So it's very important. Women, they're more likely to work minimum wage and low income jobs. And also, another thing that I've learned, especially with women, so when a woman is negotiating a salary, many times women do not get into hard negotiation with the salary. They will take whatever is given to them, whereas a man will really demand more. So many times women don't demand more to get more. Women who pursue better corporate career opportunities, they end up finding there's a broken ladder going up. They represent about 48% of entry-level workers, but only 21% of executives in the C-suite. So 21%, the rest of them are men. During COVID, mothers, they bear the brunt of the pandemic. And they had childcare, and they were 4 to 5 times more than fathers. They missed out on raises and promotions. There was a big, during the pandemic, there was a big exit of women. Matter of fact, I just seen a news article today. There was a big exit of women, especially during COVID, because when COVID hit, many of the women, they didn't have anybody to take care of the children, so they either took demotions or left the workforce because a lot of business was shut down, and so they needed to take care of the children. The children were not going to school, so this was a big issue and a big problem. The median annual earnings for men is more than $57,000. Now remember, 82 cents on a dollar for every dollar that a man has earned. Women are making about $47,000 on average annually. What do you guys think about this? Put in the chat. What do you think about these numbers? For someone taking care of a family, how significant do you think an extra $10,000 would be? The women, what do you think you could do with an extra $10,000? Put it in the chat. What you think you could do with an extra $10,000? Compared to a man. What do you think you could do with that? I mean, I could do some wonders with it, and I'm a male, but I'm sure the women could do even more. Over a lifetime, the gender pay gap ends up costing women about $450,000. Women make less money, and they spend an average of 12 years fewer in the workforce. As a result, they have lower lifetime earnings because they spend fewer years in the workforce, and because of children, and they want to take off, and nothing wrong with that. I think that we need to change a lot here in America to accommodate that, because the women, they the one bear the children. The men, we do not. So when women retire, they receive about 80% of what retired men receive in Social Security benefits. So all these issues and problems that's going on in America, especially and the gender pay gap is also international. It is a surprise that women feel less control of their finances, and fewer women feel that they're on track to achieve their financial goals. My wife and I have 31 years coming up in September. The Lord's will. We have 31 years of marriage, and one of the things that I started trying to include her and getting her more involved in a lot of the financial affairs, because I wanted her to know what's going on. I wanted her to be prepared in the event of something happened to me, to know what's going on, what to do. And so as men, if we are the one that handles that, we need to make sure that we include our wives and our women in there, so they'll know what's going on. Again, no woman left behind. That's the theme, or the thing that we want to do at Wealth Wave, How Money Works. We don't want any woman left behind. Now, by understanding and paying attention to all these things, we're going to talk about something called the 7 money milestones. And this is important because a lot of these statistics that I told you is because many times these 7 money milestones are missing. So I want to deal with the 7 money milestones here, which is financial education, proper protection, emergency fund, debt management, cash flow, building wealth, protecting wealth. Women, you have the power to take control over your financial future, and the best time to start is now. And Shay said this. He talked about building a tree. The best time to build a tree was 20 years earlier, but the best time to build a tree is now. And so it's now for you to start to really pay attention and to look at this financial education. Now, the first decision you must make is real simple. You have to choose. You got to change your mindset. Now, what How Money Works, what we do, we have a book, and we call it How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. And a sucker, we try not to be insulting, but it's to really to get you to think. And because it's a choice, the fact that you listen to this presentation tells me that your mindset is changing. That's a part of it, changing your mindset. as this quote said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest, by Ben Franklin. So it's very important that you pay attention and invest in knowledge, invest in yourself, personal development. That's very important. I don't know if you're aware of this. Financial literacy is the #1 economic crisis in the world. And we know the word sucker sounds insulting. Unfortunately, it's the best way to describe someone who can be taken advantage of because they don't know how things work. Not knowing how money works sucks. If you think it sucks, put it in the chat. Say that sucks. It can suck up your time. It can suck up your freedom. It can suck up your income. And that sucks. Over 5 billion people in the world are considered financial illiterate. This is shocking. In a study, only 30% of the people in the world are considered financial literate. There was a quiz given, and majority of people in even countries around the world, they were unable to correctly answer some simple money questions. And even more is the reason why I teach this. This is a passion of mine because I really want people to get educated, and I want to get people to another level. Look at these numbers. Can you believe that almost half of Americans don't have enough to cover a $400 emergency? If a person have a $400 emergency, most Americans don't have enough to even cover that. There's many that can't pay their student loans on time or pay their credit cards on time. And in 2020, the number of people on unemployment was up. The stock market was down, and these are staggering numbers. It's really, really huge here. But with knowledge, we can change these numbers. Now, how did all this happen? One way is 21 states make you take a class on money in high school. And of those, now when I was in high school, we didn't have a class, but 21 states require to take a class on financial education. Only 21 states, but most of those they're scratching the surface, like balancing a checkbook or things like that. What percentage of schools teach sex education, lacrosse, and broadcast journalism? Almost 50 of the states, and you can't make this stuff up. Now, I'm grateful for Florida. They passed a law that our state will require high school students to have a financial education class coming up next year to graduate. Now, the sucker, it's a cycle. It's a trap where you live paycheck to paycheck, and it's slowly, you repeat this cycle, eating out too much, unnecessary purchases, and subscriptions. All this suck up your money and your time. Now, this is some strategies that I want to go over. One of them is called the power of compound interest. And this refers to the growth potential of money over time. If you heard of compound interest, put it in the chat to let me know if you heard of, just say compound if you heard of compound interest, which is interest paid on the sum of all deposits plus interest previously paid. Now, Zoe, as our character here, Zoe, she tells us that it's interest on interest. Okay, it's very important. There's a difference between simple and compound interest, and it's substantial. I don't have time to cover all that, but there is a difference between the two. Now, we want to talk about the time value of money. We've all been guilty of squandering time. It's especially costly when you lose the value of money over that time. You never get back that time or the money you lost. Now, there's 3 steps we need to take to really pay attention to this. Now, we should start earlier is a good idea, but it's time, patience, and our investments. Now, there's this particular slide here deals with 2 people, Sarah and George, about saving. Okay, so in one case, if you're between 22 and 30, saving there is much better than saving between 30 and 67. It's about $110,000 difference. I got to get through here because I got to stay within I got a time limit. So I got to stay within that time limit. So if I go too fast, please forgive me. Now, $1 Million Baby is another strategy. Only 20% of children will receive an inheritance, and it's probably even lower now that people have faced so many challenges because of the pandemic. Now, there's three realities. We know it's hard for retirement age parents to preserve an inheritance for adult children. With seniors living longer and almost all their savings required to cover expenses and medical bills and long-term care, the new reality is they will probably live longer. We're living longer because of knowledge of health and education. So we're living longer. So could you use the money principles you've learned today to save $1 million for your child or grandchild? It's easier than you think. Now, my slides are stuck. Oh, I know where I'm at. Okay, sorry about that. All right, now I'm gonna give you a couple of examples. In this example, Dana puts $13,000 aside and leaves it for her daughter until her daughter turns 67. It grows at 6.5%. That's a conservative number. It's $1 million now after to 67, $13,000. One-time lump sum, let it sit at 6.5%. If Dana waits until her daughter graduates from high school to wait till she turns 18, she'll only receive about $300,000. Look at what a difference 18 years make. $700,000 difference. Check out Hector. Hector doesn't have the $13,000 sitting around, but he still wants his son to retire with $1 million. He and his relatives put together about $2,500 and then just $250 a month for the next 4 years. And then like magic, Hector's son has over $1 million. This is called the $1 Million Baby strategy. If Hector waits until his sons turn 18, it's the same story as Dana, about a $700,000 difference. You see why we call this the $1 Million Baby strategy. How appreciative would your kids or grandkids, you can do the $1 Million Baby strategy, would be so appreciative if you were able to do this for them. Many of the wealthy, remember, don't think like a sucker, think like the wealthy. They do this for their kids and grandkids. Now, are you having fun? Now, this is one of my favorite parts. It's called the Rule of 72. If you've heard of this before, put 72 in the chat. It's a little known mental map shortcut that the wealthy use and have been using it for years. If you have you have heard of the Rule of 72, put 72 in the chat. Now, as you can see, the better rate of return you get, the faster your money double at 3%. Now, the Rule of 72 says take 72 divided by whatever interest rate you get, and whatever answer you get, that's how long it takes your money to double. So at 3%, it takes 24 years to double. At 6%, it takes 12 years, and so on. So take whatever interest rate you get divided by 72, that's how long it'll take your money to double. Now, here's the question about 1%. Would you choose 72 years for it to double? Yeah, many people don't know how money works. There's almost $10 trillion sitting in regular savings account. And the average a bank gives a person 0.9%, not even 1%. That's just a fraction of 1%. When CNBC did a review of our book, they pointed out, they said, this is unbelievable, just 1%. And as you can see, major banks give you 0.01%. On average, it's 0.09%, but major banks is 0.01%. Now, take 72 and divide it by 0.9%. That'll take 800 years for your money to double. And as George said, about 2820 or 2822, He said his great grandchildren finally get that when it doubles. Now, let me go on here. 7 money milestones. We talked about number 1 was a financial education. I got to hurry up and get through these, so bear with me. Milestone number 2 is proper protection. This deals with protecting your family through insurance, either term or permanent. And I'm rushing through this because I'm trying to stay within time. And I can break a lot of this down more. But I remember, y'all, I had 2 presentations in one. And I'm trying to get through this. But there's some things I really want to cover. Also, remember, long-term care insurance is important. That's part of proper protection. Also here, living benefits rider. So with the insurance policy, you want to have 2 riders, critical illness and chronic illness. If you have a heart attack or stroke, or if you have a chronic illness, emergency fund, you want to have that. Make sure you have 3 to 6 months expenses or income saved up. That's number 4. Number 3. Number 4 is debt management. You want to make sure that you have your debt under control. That's some tips to stay out of debt. Number 5 is increased cash flow. I'm getting ready to sum up because I got to end. I want to stay within the time limit. Number 6 is proper building wealth, and number 7 is protecting wealth. But I want to cover something real quick on wealth. Now, taxes. The impact of taxes. This is what last thing, and then I'm done. Then we have Q&A. Taxes are very important. It's a part of your plan. Now, you got 3 ways to be taxed. Now, first of all, if you save $10,000 at age 29 with an annual return of 9%, you would have $250,000. Then when you reach 65, think like a farmer for a second. Would you rather pay taxes on the seed or the harvest? Which one is smaller? Which one would you rather pay taxes on? The $10,000 or the $250,000? That's very important. So remember, you got 3 areas of tax: tax now, tax later, or tax never. Tax never is the place that you want to be, tax never. Then number 7 is protect wealth. And that deals with having wills and trust in place. Remember, Prince and Aretha Franklin passed with large estates, but did not have any money, any estate plan for them. So those particular estates are going to be tied up for years with the legal in court, probate court, and with fees. Thank y'all, everyone. I try to keep within the time. Please forgive me for the rush. But I've always been I've always been told as a speaker or a preacher, whatever time they give you, stay within the confines of that time. Thank y'all. Any questions?
Hello, Troy.
Aaron, how you doing?
Great.
Was I
Great.
too fast? Was I talking too fast? I'm trying to get through a lot of information.
I was taking notes. And I am shocked at one of the things that you said, the gender pay gap. Did you say almost $500,000 less money is made in a lifetime?
Correct. Yeah, about
The difference
450,000.
between
Yes.
men and women?
Correct.
That's too much money we're losing.
Right.
Too much.
And Karen, a lot of that is, like I said earlier, is because women tend to take off to have children or take care of loved ones and things like that. And so they end up missing out on promotions. They end up missing out on pay raises and things like that. But I don't think they should be penalized for that, because women can do the same job as men and sometimes even better. Notice this. The women that were notice the women that ran the countries that had COVID did way better with keeping COVID under than the ones that ran as men.
Great point. That's an excellent.
Absolutely. Wow. I want to thank you, Troy, because you said some things that really shook my memory. And just thinking about the amount of the difference in pay between male and females we have to do better with that.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
Mhm.
yeah.
Definitely.
So
Yep.
what about children? How how do we educate our children? Because we didn't have financial literacy classes when I was growing up.
Right.
So how do we better prepare for our kids and our grandkids? I want my grandson not to have the same financial difficulties as I or his mother or his dad has had. So how do we do that?
Yeah. So let me throw this out real quick before I forget. Somebody said, "How can we get in contact with you?" Go to TroyHope.com. That's my website. You can find my information on there, and you can connect with me. I'm also on all social medias: Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm heavy on LinkedIn, Instagram, so you can find me. But anyway, so Dr. Gloria, so like you, I was not taught financial literacy.
Mhm.
My parents didn't have it, so I could go deep in it and talking about a lot of the racial wealth gap and how, many years ago, that remember there's something called redlining. Okay, so redlining was where African Americans couldn't buy homes in certain areas, and it was
Right.
mapped out. This was by the government, about corporations, and about society. So what happened is it gave us a head start because remember, people buying houses was a way for people to build wealth. And
Mhm.
we're behind from a lot of that. Statistics show us that we are, even though many people have bought houses as a race, we are behind from the 60s in home ownership. So a lot of this it should start in the home. We should read books. We should go to seminars. Monthly, I do a seminar monthly. I do a seminar every last Monday of the month. I
Mhm.
cover this information. It's free. It's virtual. I don't charge anything. I do it every last Monday of the month. The month of May is going to be the fourth Monday because Memorial Day is the last Monday, and I don't want to mess people holiday up. But classes like that, and just a lot of stuff you can Google, you can YouTube. Now,
Mm.
be careful a lot of it because there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Right.
But the main thing is to get that education and get with a financial professional that you trust and have knowledge. Uh, I'm open. I'm willing. Now,
Good.
let's say this disclaimer. I've been in this industry about 22 years. I'm licensed only in 13 states. If I have to get licensed to help somebody in another state, I'm willing to
Mm.
do that. But I have a passion to help educate people, especially the African American community, because I see where we make the mistakes. Now,
Yeah.
here's some of the things that I see. I think we could do better. So many people get um, income tax. Okay, so they may get $6,000 in income tax in a cycle. Then they take it and maybe buy a new car. So
Mm.
instead of purchasing liabilities, why not take 2,000? Not the whole thing. Take 2,000, drop it into what we call a permanent life insurance policy for the child. You could do what they call a 7 pay. 2,000 for 7 years is paid up. That money sits and that money grows. When that child gets of 50, 60 years old, that child got a $500,000.
Wow.
Something real simple, not
That's
complex.
good. That's good.
We just got to change our mindset.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I just want to thank you. It has been a great um, informational session, and I see the responses on Facebook, and we will have you back.
Okay.
We will definitely have you back.
I won't rush the next time. I'm trying. I really was trying to
You
stay.
need a session. No, you need to just be the speaker with
Okay.
all of that information because we definitely need that help. And I mean, given the times, my friend was sharing with me earlier about the price of gas. Just the fact that we're living in such difficult financial times now, we really need that information. So again, I want to thank you. I am so excited about what has taken place tonight.
Yes.
Uh, I want to say we are at the end of our conference, part one, day one. Yay!
Day one.
We can celebrate that. And, you know, I want to say thank you to my co host tonight, Miss Cherie, I call her Casey, SAKC, Tucson, Arizona.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank
Karen,
you.
Coach K, Virginia, Bella, who is in Maryland. Thank you. You know, and thank you to all of our speakers tonight. Tess Timms with manifesting. You know, we thank you, Tess, for teaching us and reminding us that we have the power, the authority to manifest. Now, the Bible says, call those things that are not as though they were. That's manifestation. So don't get it twisted. You know, we use biblical principles, we use them outside of what we are supposed to. But if we apply the principles of manifestation to our lives, then it will manifest in all areas of our lives. And then we had Coach TK. She was powerful. Yes, that mind. Oh my God, I was taking notes. I said, I have to have a private conversation with her. That was absolutely so good. And the three winners of her I Am book, we will definitely make sure that you receive your gifts. So thank you. And then we had, Dr. Tanya Blackman is just, you know, collaborations over competition. It just feeds my heart because that's my heart. And so I want to thank her. To Shay Brown. Look, Casey, I wish you could have remembered Shay's his theme song. You know, and last year Shay came to our conference and he was absolutely such a help, you know. And then we're closing out with Mr. Troy. Oh, almost called him Tony again.
You got it right.
I need a hand clap for that because I always call him Tony. Yes. So I just want to thank you. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Did I?
Lulu.
Wait a minute. I said those are the speakers. Lulu is, how can I say, a bomb all by herself. Okay. So Lulu actually sits in a different category. She is one of the most dynamic speakers of this time. And she earned that name, Radical Revolutionary Lulu. She earned that. And so you cannot talk about Lulu Brown in the same sentence as everyone else. And I hope you don't mind, but such a powerhouse. Now, the floor is open. I want you guys to, you know, we're leaving here tonight. And I do want to say, again, if your friends that pre-registered and they were not, and they haven't joined the Facebook page, they will not be able to view the conference. I said tonight, people were registering, asking to join while, you know, the presenters were speaking. That's unfair. So get the word out. Register to join, ask to join tonight so that tomorrow we can have a wonderful time. I'm just excited. Oops, I'm taller than the camera. I'm so excited. I want to say thank you to all of those that joined us in Facebook. It was amazing. You know, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is a power-packed group of dynamic speakers. Join us tomorrow. And I promise you this one thing. Purpose to prosper will be in your spirit. Now, I want to hear from my co-hosts, and we're out.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I enjoyed every speaker who was on our virtual stage. And you are right. Purpose to prosper was definitely the right word, the right topic for this particular conference. Love it.
Awesome.
Yes, this was an awesome gathering. It was so much information. I got my notebook right here. I was writing it down, just you know, just chewing on that good stuff.
Yes. Good stuff. Yes.
And Dr. Gloria, I want to say thank you so much. I know we only met earlier, just a few days ago, but sitting on this forum, I felt like I was with my brothers and sisters, and that is such a beautiful, warm feeling. So thank you for creating
Thank
such
you.
a place of love, because love is God and God is love. And if you
Yes.
have that in your heart, you could accomplish anything. I took so many notes. It was informative. Again, it is a privilege and an honor to be part of this symposium. And this is just day one. So I can't wait for day 2 and then day 3.
Yes, just an awesome.
Mhm.
Well, we want to say goodnight to our viewers. Thank you.
Good night,
And
everybody.
tomorrow we will start at 10 a.m. We will be on the stage. So we expect to see you. We, again, are just a great roster of speakers tomorrow. Good night. We love you. And remember, you were purposed to prosper in all areas of your life.